Hello everyone, let's continue the game making series. In this video we will make checkpoint system. Alright, let's get started. I made a few changes to the scene for this video. I changed the background color, edit moving platform and duplicate the obstacle. Just that's it. Let's start the game in this case. As you can see, the player respawns from the starting point when hit the obstacle. We did the respawn system in the previous video. No matter how far the player goes, when it dies it's respawned from the beginning. Let's add checkpoint to the scene. I made two images for checkpoint and added them to this project. I'll drag and drop the checkpoint image onto the scene. And I'm gonna add box collider to the checkpoint object. Set the size of the collider. And then I'll enable its trigger feature of the collider. I'm gonna create checkpoint script. Open the checkpoint script. First of all, I will make a small addition to the game controller script. As you can see, when the player dies, they only respawn from the starting point. I will rename the start pose variable to checkpoint pose. Checkpoint pose will be equal to the player's starting position when the game first starts. If the player dies before reaching any checkpoint, it will respawn from the starting point. I will create a new method called update checkpoint. When the player reaches any checkpoint, I will call this method from checkpoint script and I'll change the position of the checkpoint pose variable. Alright, save this script and go back to checkpoint script. I'll create a variable named game controller to access the game controller script. If the player touches the checkpoint, I will update the position of the checkpoint pose variable to the position of the touched checkpoint. Okay, save the script and go back to Unity. Start the game. If we die before reaching the checkpoint, we spawn from the starting point. When we die after reaching the checkpoint, we are respawn at the checkpoint. I want the player to spawn slightly above the checkpoint image. Click on the checkpoint object and create an empty object named respawn point. I raise this empty object to the height I want the player to spawn. Open the checkpoint script. I'll create a transform variable named respawn point. Go back to Unity. Drag and drop respawn point object to this slot. Start the game. As you can see, the player now spawns above the checkpoint. I want its image to change when the checkpoint is activated. If you want, you can add animation or different things. It's completely up to your taste. Drag and drop the images into their slots. Nice! As soon as the checkpoint is activated, its image changed. I want to add one more checkpoint to the scene. So I will duplicate this checkpoint with Ctrl the shortcut. Start the game. As you can see, the player respawns from the last checkpoint. If the player touches the previous checkpoint again, it spawns from the previous checkpoint. If you don't want this to happen, we can simply solve it. Go back to checkpoint script. I'll access the collider of the checkpoint. As soon as the checkpoint makes contact with the player, I will disable its collider, so it will not be able to interact with the player a second time. Save the script and let's test it. I reached the first checkpoint, died and respawned from the first checkpoint. I reached the second checkpoint, died and respawned from the second checkpoint. I touched the first checkpoint again, died and respawned from the last checkpoint. Nice! I'll create a prefab from the checkpoint object, so I can easily use the checkpoint whenever and wherever I want. I hope the video is useful for you. Please don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.